Welcome. How are all of you? I am hoping that you can hear me clearly. As you come on here, let me know that you can hear me clearly. This is an audio only. This is kind of an impromptu video. And what I'm going to talk about in today's video is Jezebel spirit, Jezebel energy, the negativity, even what the Bible says about Jezebel spirits, because I think some of you could actually have a friend, a coworker, someone around you that contains the Jezebel energy. So this is going to be a really, or some of the men listening could have that. And this is going to be a really important video. So let me know if you can hear me clearly in the comments and we will get right into it. I just had the most amazing raw rice, sprouted raw rice. So I might belch, but it's all good. Can you guys hear me clearly? Just let me know in the comment section and I'll move forward. Just say, yes, I can hear you, or no, I can't hear you, or what have you. There's a few of you have already popped on, so just tell me in the comment section. I'm looking right at the chat if you can hear me clearly, or I will mute this audio and check myself. Okay, it looks like you guys can hear me. I'm not sure why everyone was too afraid to say it, but so Jezebel spirit. I want to explain to you what first the Bible says about Jezebel spirit. And I know you guys are like, okay, Andrea, this is a tarot channel. Why are you quoting the Bible? Well, I grew up Christian. I still believe in Jesus. I believe in Christ consciousness. I pray to Jesus. So that's just who I am. The oracle deck I'm creating is a wellness based oracle deck. It's not a deck of divination, it's a deck on animal spirit guides and other avenues such as, health, wellness, etc., juicing, veganism. So the other day, I had a run in with a Jezebel spirit, and it was a woman. I have a lot of women, lot of younger women that come to me asking for business advice. And 9 times out of 10, they're too lazy to put any work in, to be quite honest with you. But sometimes, they are hardworking and they are positive and they just genuinely want advice. And I don't have a lot of time to spend giving people advice, but I had two different women come to me last week, and one of them uh, I consider a friend. The other was a total Jezebel spirit, and I had to completely banish her from my life. So, just to give you guys kind of a background of me, when I was younger and I was a fitness model, I actually spent 8 years single and celibate. Like the hottest years of my life, I was single and celibate. I lived in a big house in Dayton, Ohio. I had left an 11-year relationship and I chose to be single and celibate. I dated a doctor that lived in Cincinnati at that time, and I wouldn't sleep with him. And then when I relocated to California, that changed. And then now I think it's been since 2000, it's been a few years again of single and celibacy. And I choose to live this way. I choose to live this way because My body is my temple. And I believe that there are entity attachments and negative attachments that people can, I know there are, that hold devilish energy that people can put on you specifically when you sleep with them. So that's why I keep a clean diet, a clean body, and I don't sleep around. That's Jezebel energy. So let's talk about what the Bible's definition of Jezebel is. Jezebel's spirit is characterized as totally evil. In the biblical text and beyond it, in the New Testament, her name is a generic word for a whoring, non-believing female adversary. In Christian tradition, she is evil, an evil incarnate. Now, one of my clients said, can a wife be a Jezebel energy? Absolutely. Can a girlfriend be a Jezebel energy? Absolutely. Let me give you some of the characteristics of a Jezebel energy. They want what other people have. They don't want to put the work in to get it. They're lazy. Their house is a mess. They're a mess. Oftentimes, if they have children, they can have several different fathers to their children or not know who a father is. They often have kids out of wedlock. So I have had my fair share. And look, if you want to unfollow me, unfollow me. I'm not judging you if you have kids and you're not married and you have two different daddies. That's your business. I'm giving you some characteristics, and I'll give you some of the emotional characteristics too that Jezebel energy carries. So a Jezebel energy will be very jealous of other women. Okay. They're the kind of women that will be on your social media, but not clap when you are doing well. Right. So they won't say anything if you're doing well. They won't congratulate you. They won't like your photos. They won't do anything like that. They're a Jezebel spirit. They want what you have, and they either want to take it, or they feel like they're owed it, or they feel like they can steal it. A Jezebel energy is someone who also is really into witchcraft and spell work in a negative sense. They're not someone doing like affirmations and lighting a candle for abundance for themselves. There's someone that'll have someone in a freaking jar in their freezer or something, okay? So that too is a Jezebel energy. A Jezebel energy is highly into dark witchcraft. They're not into light witchcraft. They'll try to portray that they are, but they're not. They also wear a ton of makeup. They're the ones that you see completely made up, filtered, etc. That's Jezebel spirit. So, married or not, single or not, oftentimes some of the women that are most hated in society, beautiful, single, affluent, doing well for themselves, are not Jezebel energies. They're actually the opposite. They've chosen a spiritual path. But, jealousy is a major factor in Jezebel energy. So let me explain to you my interaction with this Jezebel energy the other day. She's probably going to listen to this. I could care less. Reached out to me, can you do this? Can you do that? And I had anxiety before even responding. Like I just had major anxiety. It was like, oh God, again, right? Again. She's like, well, who shoots your videos? Who does this? I do. Well, who did this for you? I did it. Who built this for you? I did it. Well, how'd you get on the news the first time? I don't know. Fell on my lap. I wrote a book. I did it. Everything that I create comes from me. It doesn't come from regurgitating. I mean, every once in a while I'll learn a fact, For example, the government is now putting a sticker on organic food. So I shared that the other day because I want people to be protected. But 99.9% of what I speak and share comes from me. It comes from no one else. And it comes from what I learned growing up, etc. It's beautiful to tap into your lineage, and I love seeing women do that. Let me explain to you what this Jezebel spirit chick did the other day. And I don't usually refer to people as chicks. I got in trouble for saying the word chick in middle school one time, and it was one of the best lessons I ever got. She said, "We don't refer to women that way," and I agree, especially if you have daughters. So, but this woman the other day, this entity, this Jezebel spirit is a chick, and she needs to go left because, yeah, it's not going to flow with me. I don't hang around with that type of entity. So, how did you do this? How did you do that? Do you want to can you do this? Can you show me how you did that? I can't show anyone my flow because my flow is organic and it is natural. What I do with my business and what I do with my life and my routine is organic and natural. It's something I've done all my life. I don't plan things out. I don't plan posts. I don't do anything like that. I also noticed she's watching on a few of my social media platforms, not liking a single thing. Jezebel spirit wants to compete, doesn't want to support other women. That's a Jezebel spirit. Another thing I noticed about Jezebel spirits, they love to spend men's money and not work themselves. There's a gluttony and a laziness about them, right? So the one thing I do have is certain days of the week that I do certain things. Like Sunday, Monday, I'm constantly cleaning because I'm a neat freak and I'm doing clerical things. And the rest of the week, I get into the nitty gritty and work with clients online and things like that. A Jezebel spirit will want to be and there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home girlfriend. There's absolutely, I want to reiterate that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm extremely old-fashioned and believe in that. A Jezebel spirit, however, will hold on to a man for money. They will hold on to a man for money. There has been one time in my life where there was some codependency in a relationship, and I loved the man more than anything. I was so in love with him, broke my heart when we broke up. I couldn't get out of bed for a year. So, I'm not saying like I'm perfect and have never been with someone in that way, but there was real love there on both sides. So, reiterating, getting back to this Jezebel energy that was reaching out for like business pointers and everything else. Other characteristics of a Jezebel energy: not supportive of other women. They are lazy. Okay. They don't all have to be lazy, but usually a past or current whoring. Okay. Like gets around, just saying, talks poorly about other women, talks poorly about other people. And I'm not saying just someone did you wrong and you speak poorly about them. I'm like literally saying like, like your mom comes over and you just talk smack about someone for an hour, or you're, you're showing your mom or your sister or your friends, this woman you don't like on the internet. You're showing, that's Jezebel spirit. That's a very dirty Jezebel energy. Having kids with 2-3 different daddies, things of that nature, just having kids because it's your job and you can get money for Jezebel energy. So we have to be mindful of allowing women like this as women. And I know a lot of you are going to unfollow me, and that's fine. I could care less, to be honest with you. I'm not here for followers. I'm here to be a truth teller. We have to be mindful of allowing Jezebel energies in our lives as friends. Okay? They don't believe in God. They don't believe there's a higher power. They believe we all started as a speck of, whatever, who knows. They are not supportive of other women, right? They see another woman doing well and they don't want to lift her up or support. I mean, you guys, if I could, I would literally create a fake account to support my haters. That's how much I like seeing women succeed. That's how much I like to see other women succeed. The only time I'm not going to want to see another woman succeed is if they're spreading lies and rumors and bullshit about me. Then you've pissed off the empress, and I'm going to get you. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is you have to be mindful of who is in your circle. You can't hang around with Jezebel spirits, Jezebel energies, and expect to rise and expect to do good in this world and expect to prosper. If you're hanging around with a bunch of women who literally spend men's money like a pastime sport, that's going to wear off on you. If you're hanging around women that literally get all their ideas from what other people are doing, that's going to wear off on you. To be a conscious creator is anti-Jezebel spirit. Okay? To not have to be doing what everyone else is anti-Jezebel spirit. Now let's talk about witchcraft and Jezebel spirit and how nasty and negative that is. So a conscious creator and someone who does good in this world, they may sage their house on a Sunday. They may light a candle to bring in abundance. They may, if depending on what your lineage is, if you're Celtic Scottish, you may do a dance in the rain every time it rains, whatever. But a Jezebel spirit is heavily into dark work. Dark work. Another reason you want to stay clear of Jezebel energy. Very important. If you have any questions, you can type them in the comment section here. So, what I'm trying to teach all of you is, and a Jezebel energy is a loose energy. It's someone who gets around. It's someone who doesn't have respect for their body, right? It's someone who their partner leaves them for someone else and they're doing work on him and her or both. It's someone who doesn't understand how everything we do in life comes back to us. Someone who doesn't understand that dynamic. It's someone who has entity attachments. Jezebel spirits, oftentimes they'll have dark circles around their eyes because they have entity attachments. They'll do a lot of things to try to appear as whoever their fixation is, right? So someone with dark hair, maybe, nothing wrong with lightening your hair. Okay. I'm not saying anything like that, but someone with dark hair might, want to lighten their hair to look like whoever they're fixated on, because oftentimes Jezebel spirits will fixate on another female that has what they want. They may darken their eyebrows. They may get, boobs if the woman has boobs. They might buy a butt if the woman has a butt. Who knows? Maybe the woman they're fixated on has naturally beautiful buttocks or something, but maybe they'll buy one to try to, compare or what have you, or buy boobs or whatever. They'll try to do anything they can to be like whoever they're fixated on. So that again is Jezebel spirit. And I actually, oh my God, I'll never forget reading. So let me focus on the girl that I had a run in this past weekend, and I literally have been cleansing my home, my space, and myself ever since. So my animals were hungry. They needed fed and they were crying in the background. And I kept trying to get off the phone with her. No regard for my animals whatsoever. Just me, 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 me. What about this? What about that? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I actually had to call her out on it. I was like, look, there's no regard. Like, there's only like a fame hunger in you. There's no regard for, like, I've said my animals are hungry 3 or 4 times. Like, I have to go, very needy. It's a very needy, codependent, doesn't feel like they can succeed without you, not into doing light, work that brings in abundance and prosperity for the collective, but into doing dark work. That is a Jezebel energy. So I felt so sick after that phone call. And when I say sick, you guys, I mean, I got sick, physically ill. And the way you protect yourself against it. Now, let's talk about something else. Can a Jezebel spirit turn over a new leaf? Absolutely. I actually have faith in this girl. I do. I'm going to say a prayer for her every single night, because I like women who love their parents. I like women who love animals. So I know there's a good heart in there. But when someone is possessed by Jezebel's spirit, they're just not in their right mind. So how do you know if you or someone around you is suffering and has been possessed by a Jezebel entity? Well, the number one way, and you can cleanse yourself of this, is they get around. Okay? They get around and around and around, right? Multiple sexual partners, Jezebel spirit. Codependent relationships, Jezebel energy. You have to remember that whenever you are intimate with someone, you take on all the partners. Thank you for hitting the like button, and tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments as you come on in here. So you have to remember, whenever you're intimate with someone, you literally pick up the energy of all the partners they've been with in the past 7 to 8 years. So if they've been with a partner that's broke, guess who's going to get that brokenness? If they've been with a partner who is dirty and got around, guess who's going to pick up that energy? So I was in a relationship with a man a few years ago that I loved a lot. And, again, if there's codependency in a relationship, but there's true, honest love there, that's different. And he had been with a woman before me for several years that was a Jezebel spirit. She basically would sleep with anything, cheated on him a lot, etc. When I tell you I had to yoni egg, yoni steam, like protective barrier, like everything, the whole relationship, I'm not kidding. Like sage up my skirt and my hair and everything else. And we were together a few years. So you have to be very mindful. And like I said in the beginning of this, I was single and celibate during my years of modeling for 8 years. So from age, I think 27 until I was 34, I was single and celibate. And now I've been single and celibate 2020, 21, 22, 23, 4 years. So you have to be really mindful of who you allow in your auric field, your energetic field. If you make a mistake, it may not be redeemable. And so, again, a Jezebel energy is not a single woman who, is attractive and keeps to herself. That's the opposite. A Jezebel energy can be a married woman who's jealous of a single woman that's attractive and keeps to herself. Why? Because she doesn't have what that woman has. A Jezebel spirit can be anyone who is jealous of what you have. It can be any woman that doesn't clap when you do well, right? We want people around us that are supporting and loving and kind when we do well. We don't want a group of silent haters that act like they're, nice to us to our face and then secretly hate us in the background. A Jezebel entity spirit could be lazy, right? You could give them crystal clear instructions on what to do and they still wouldn't do it. You could say, okay, you want to be famous? This is what you do. And they'd still lay on their ass. A Jezebel spirit can gain a lot of weight. They can be a big time overeater. They can keep a messy house. They can hoard. Hoard, meaning hoard a lot of items. One of the most indicative signs of a Jezebel energy, and there's a difference here. People can be promoting their business, to create abundance in their life on the internet and post a selfie every once in a while and not be a Jezebel energy. But people who want what other people have, like, why does she get all the attention and I don't? Wah, 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 wah. Ooh, I'm going to cast a spell on her. Ooh, I'm jealous of her. That is a Jezebel spirit energy entity. And those type of women, to my ladies who are on here, have no place in your life. No place. No place. So be very mindful of the people you allow around your energy. I cannot tell you how many times I have allowed someone to be my friend and literally, and I'll watch, I'm a high priestess. I'm a Pisces, for God's sake. I'll see what you got going on and if you're for me or against me. And then I've picked up along the way, oh, this is a jealous hater, a Jezebel energy, and I've got to let them go. So be very mindful. Again, Jezebel energies, oftentimes several different daddies to the kids, if they have kids or don't know who the daddies are, who knows, oftentimes have kids out of wedlock. I had a Jezebel spirit who wanted everything I had when I lived in Las Vegas. She had 10 kids, not married. That's Jezebel energy. I mean, how are you going to have that many kids with someone and not put a ring on it? I'm sorry. You call me a judgmental person. I'm just saying. Jezebel energy also wants what other people have. So they're jealous and envious. They'll also lurk in the shadows. So that's the type of person that will create fake accounts on social media just so they can look at what you're doing and try to emulate you. Jezebel spirit. Jezebel spirits will even just follow you on social media with their real account, won't like a thing you do. Jezebel spirit. Jezebel spirits will, they get around intimately wise, right? They would never dream of living on a hill without any action. A Jezebel entity energy is going to want, whatever's new in town or whatever. Jezebel energies, as far as appearance, they can, wear a lot of makeup. Some of them, not all of them. They can do things to try to emulate or look or appear like someone else. So, for example, if the Jezebel energy has fixated on a tall, skinny blonde with dark eyebrows and big boobs, they'll try to be they'll lighten their hair, they'll darken their eyebrows, they'll go by boobs, they'll anything to try to emulate their fixation. When I find I have a Jezebel spirit in my life, I banish them from my life immediately. They get none of my energy. It's like a force field of gold light, peach light, purple light surrounding my auric field, and they're cut off completely. Anything they do to try to emulate me falls by the wayside. They don't make a dollar. They don't prosper. Anything they project against me sent right back. It's like a boomerang. Any hate they throw my way, any reporting of content or videos, boom, happens organically back to them from someone else. I don't do anything but protect my energy against that type of entity and spirit. And I want all of you to be empowered and know that when you have a Jezebel energy, and I'll tell you what, Jezebel energies can be in men as well. Let's talk about the men, enough about the women. Okay. Jezebel's spirit on a man is a man that, is happily married and can't keep his eyes or his hands or his thingamajigger to himself. Yeah, that's a man with a Jezebel entity attachment, right? They're always looking at their past, looking at what they lost. They're always seeing what's better out there. Jezebel entity attachment. You can't ayahuasca that out. You can't, you can't. You have to do the deep-rooted shadow work on yourself to get rid of that. Now, you can be with someone who's doing work on you, who's doing something negative, who's putting that Jezebel entity energy onto you. I always like to say, and this is a quote, I think I shared it on some of my platforms, nothing will age you quicker than a karmic relationship. Friendship, love relationship, family member, whatever. A karmic relationship will age us. I see it all the time. Clients come to me, men like 45 years old, lose all their hair. It's like, well, yeah, you're gonna, it's not a mineral deficiency in this case. It's because your wife's spending your money like a pastime sport and aging the hell out of you and screams at you and controls you and da da da. You have to be mindful. We need to be mindful of, is anyone resonating with this? Of Jezebel energies and Jezebel entities. I had a man I have known for years. I came across a few months ago, and he completely has a Jezebel entity attachment. And I'm just like, you know what? Keep that over there. Keep that over there, please. I do not, and I've known this person for years. I'm like, I don't want it here. I'm sorry. Just don't. I don't want it in my field, in my good energy, in my positive energy. Just like the girl that called me the other day, she didn't want help. She didn't want tips. I've been giving her tips for it. It almost sounded like she was recording me too. It was a very odd phone call. She didn't want help and tips. I've given her tips for months. She wanted to take from my light and my energy. It does not happen with me. I'll shut you down. Light always wins over darkness. You cannot shine darkness into a light room. Only light can do that. You can only shine light into a dark room to see the truth. And trust me when I say I've had a lot of dark entities try to dim my light, to take my light down over the years. It doesn't work. Usually they have to, go to manipulative means of online hacking, things of that nature, which I've shared with all of you. Is that all you have? Really? That's it? That's darkness. You cannot dim someone that is of the light's light. So be mindful of Jezebel energy, Jezebel spirit. Jezebel energy does not mean a single woman. That, a Jezebel energy is someone who kind of whores around. They want what other people have. They are major takers. They could sometimes have alcohol, drug, addictions, things of that nature. They are fame hungry. Some of us were, given things because we're naturally good on camera, and other people want, like, oh, why does she get attention and I don't? Want. That's a fame hunger, Jezebel entity energy. Oftentimes, 2, 3, 4 kids, 2 different daddies, whatever, 3 different daddies, 4 different daddies, Jezebel spirit, Jezebel energy. Keep your energy clear, keep your auric field clear. And the biggest sign is they will stay in a toxic, codependent relationship for the money. They're not in love with someone, they'll stay for the money. often into witchcraft, but dark witchcraft. They're into dark things, not, lighting a candle because you want, 500 grand to come in next month. No, they do witchcraft out of darkness. And yes, Jezebel entities can be male. A Jezebel energy is someone who will meet someone and take them home that night. That's a Jezebel spirit. That's someone who needs to cleanse their aura. So, on that note, I love each and every one of you. Make sure you're mindful of who you let into your sphere and your space. And I might do a series on this. I think I will. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a series. All right. Good night.